What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Shout out to Cassie in the chat. First time for a watch along. Welcome, Cassie, who says she usually watches General Hospital first before Beyond the Gates, but because of the crossover, they switched up for the remainder of the week. So you could join us all week then, Cassie. Also, General Hospital's kind of annoying me this week so far, to be honest. Hello, Aaliyah. Welcome back. Hello, Phoenix. Welcome back. We're starting our crossover, although I think it will be our least dramatic crossover episode of the week. We're going to be building to the drama the next 3 episodes. As usual, I will say my live stream on Paramount Plus is usually a minute behind CBS, but it's starting now. And I'll be typing. We got Martin getting his family ready. Hello, Dee Dee. Welcome back. I haven't gotten to Anita yet. Anita and Vernon do look dapper per usual. Hello, Z Hicks. Welcome back. Hello, Denise. Welcome back. Z Hicks also says Anita looks great, just like Aaliyah did. Well, here is old Victor Newman. I mean, the Duprees do know how to throw a party, so Victor is right. Aaliyah says, I feel like I'm going to be pissed with Danny for a long time. I think a lot of people might be. And Danny and Naomi already talking about the incoming storm. This is more like it. This is how mad Elon should have been about Jacob's whole undercover work. Of course, we didn't get to see Jacob be rough, though. Ugh, these two. They really think they did something with Heather's arrival. Let me finish my notes and then I'll get to the chat. All right, let's see. Phoenix says Naomi looks good in her dress. She does too. Phoenix says, and I love her hair. Yeah, Naomi looks good. Aaliyah says trash is in the house. They never take it out to the dumpster. I don't know why. Z Hicks says Jacob needs a vacation. He's unstable. I wish we could have a vacation from everyone that was involved with that undercover investigation storyline. Phoenix says Jacob's whiny ass. DGF, welcome back, DGF. Phoenix Rising just says trash, which is very appropriate. Hello, Kaiwan, welcome back. Aaliyah says if Elon knew Jacob had Naomi in his motel room, he would have been pissed. Yeah, I wish he would find out about that. Let's see. Cassie E says, I feel like Jacob is on the verge of snapping. Yeah, I wish we would have saw him go off on this perp or whatever he was doing. Z Hicks says Danny will go with her heart. Z Hicks, are you the big Danny and Bill fan? I know there's a few of you that are always in the comments. Yes, Kaiwan Joey's sister is Heather. Dee Dee says, does the other soap opera talk about things that they don't show, like Beyond the Gates? General Hospital is very good at showing things. Yeah, I feel like Beyond the Gates is the worst with that right now, for sure. Bobby Wobby says they couldn't show Jacob threatening the prisoner. Did I miss it? No, we didn't get to see it, Bobby. Kaiwan says, I think Jacob misses his buddy, his friend. True. Hello, Miss Blue, who says, now that we have seen the Impaler, we do not need to see her again. Oh, we're going to see more of Heather, I'm sure. Bobby Wobby says, I know soap operas in the 80s showed almost everything on screen. Yep, same with the 90s. Honestly, same with the 2000s. Kaiwan says General Hospital has a whole relationship off screen. Who's off screen? Z Hicks says Danny and Bill forever. Probably an unpopular opinion. Surprised to see these two today. Oh, this is why they're on today. Jan invited Leslie. Jacob did not deserve that award. Dee Dee says, yeah, at this point, disappointed in Joey's sister being the impaler. It was very underwhelming. Aaliyah says, Danny and Bill, hell no. He disrespected every part of their relationship. He did. They really made it pretty impossible to root for Bill and Danny to get back together. Miss Blue says, I just want to see Victor. I'm sure he's barely going to be sprinkled in today. Oh, they're talking about Leah. Do you think we'll see Ran or Leah? Phoenix Rising says Jacob needs to be out on a mental health leave. I mean, he does. His friend just died because of his case. Cassie E says it feels weird watching Beyond the Gates first today. I'm sure it does. Miss Blue says Elon needs to give Jacob desk duty. I don't know. They're writing Elon like he's just so proud of Jacob's work right now. So Dee Dee says, let's hope not a lot of dragging. I think today will drag. It's the setup for the big event tomorrow. Cassie E says, why does Naomi want Jacob just to snap out of it like his best friend died saying his life is no big deal? True. Naomi, I don't understand her as a character. Maybe they just have Naomi speaking for the audience who's like, did Derek really need to be grieved this long? Dee Dee says, is Ashley invited? I believe Ashley will indeed be there. Yeah, I think Ashley will be on tomorrow being invited to the event. Yay for all of us. I feel like less drug commercials today than usual. Maybe they'll hit us in the back end with all the drugs. Phoenix says, OMG, the amount of commercials is alarming. Yeah, just wait till they ramp up the drug commercials. Hello, Kathy, who says, if Ashley's going to be there, let the ceiling fall on her. Yes, great character to kill off for a tornado, I say. Cassie E says, is someone else going to die because of this tornado? I feel like it's a lost opportunity if they don't cut a little more dead weight. Joey's not attending. It looks like he's attending. Looks like we are going to see Titus. Leslie's just always around to annoy people. Miss Blue says, may I ask, was Trash this size when the show first started? I thought that she looked healthier. I've been watching since day one. I am just asking. She definitely looks skinnier. I will concur with that. Bobby says, okay, can they at least tell us the name of Martin's opponent instead of saying Martin's opponent? Good, good question, Bobby. Bobby also agrees that Vanessa's face was fuller when the show started. Phoenix is laughing at Leslie. Z Hicks is glad that Leslie is in the mix. It seemed like yesterday, Denise, that Leslie used her infinite money to buy a ticket to the fundraiser. Kaiwan says, my thing about Leslie is she's cartoonishly evil, but that's why I wanted to. Yeah, she's definitely cartoony and less of a villain these days. So like it's weird to have a cartoon villain who doesn't actually do villainous things and just annoys people. Cassie E says, I can't wait till Vanessa has egg on her face because she wants people to be yes people and just let her do it, whatever. She's stupid. Yes. I need Vanessa to suffer, like I said all day yesterday. Jocelyn says the realtor Vanessa looks like a stack of bones. I mean, hopefully she's not unhealthy. These celebrities are probably on Ozempic. Still no June, though. June's not even at work. Where's June? Where's Barbara Gray to ask where's June? Still wish we would have saw Terrell come home with that big smile on his face. Sorry, lots of typing today. Gonna be lots of typing this whole week. Yes, Kaiwan Tyrell was happy cheesing losing his V card. Aaliyah says it's kind of cocky for Tyrell to think he can make Jessica stay. It's very cocky. Damn, weather alert has interrupted DGF. Sorry. Not that you're missing a whole lot. Kaiwan, I don't think Andre's in love with Ashley anymore. I think they've moved on. I mean, Naomi cut him some slack. These two are both ridiculously Phoenix. He's ridiculous because he thinks he's doing an excellent job, and Naomi's just ridiculous at everything. I don't know how Victor is a big deal in the DMV when he's from Wisconsin, but okay. Miss Blue says I would work at either Orphe Jeans or Uptown from sunup to sundown just to see Tomas. Oh, I hope this is the last week we get to see Tomas, Miss Blue. Hopefully that tornado just spins him out of town. Oh, here comes Victor on his CGI helicopter. Or AI helicopter. It's so strange seeing this Victor, who's a supervillain these days. Dee Dee says Tyrell and Samantha should have seen Leslie. I'm surprised they didn't. Leah says, why didn't the trees blow? Because it was AI or something. Kathy says, Leslie overhearing teenagers' conversation is crazy. She needs a life. She really does need a life. Kaiwan says from Young and the Restless, Victor is supposed to be the richest man in all of known world. They do write him that way. Cassie E says Jacob is going to be pissed when he finds out that Naomi has been withholding from him the whole time. I mean, he should be pissed. DD says, we see outside. Yeah, that's nice. At least there was some outside for once on the show. That wasn't just the alley. Phoenix Rising says, shocked we got to see Victor land on the green. That is surprising. The trees didn't blow, as pointed out, but surprising. Kawan says, I don't get why Vernon will be friends with Victor, the most villainous person in the world. Maybe they were friends before he became such a villain. He wasn't always a villain. Miss Blue says, I wish that was the limo driver picking up Victor. Bobby asked if it was an AI chauffeur. It seemed like that was real, I think. Cassie E says, oh yeah, I forgot about Tomas. Very forgettable. Very forgettable. Kawan says, make more sense with the Abbotts. Yeah, maybe he should have been friends with Jack, but I mean, if you could get both of them for a crossover, why not have both Victor and Jack? Aaliyah says, Kat also seems to have forgotten about Tomas. I wish she would forget about Tomas. That'd be the best decision for Kat as a character. Or just having Miss Blue watch Tomas spin out of town in the tornado. Bobby says, now we got to see Rowena. They only showed her on the first day of the show. I don't even remember her on the first day. So long ago. Didi, are you talking about Jack from Young and the Restless? Bobby says she was pouring tea or coffee to Anita. Didi says Kat is more interested in doing detective work. She is. Yeah, Didi, Jack will be here, I think, tomorrow. I was always Team Jack over Victor on Young and the Restless. Yeah, Bobby, I still don't remember her. If they haven't showed her since then, though, I don't think we're going to see her. Denise, I'd love to drink in the back of a car. Cassie E says, are they going to cast a new man for Cat? I hope so, because Tomas ain't it. They do say her name a lot, Bobby. I don't know if Victor can be proud of his legacy. Oh, this is how Ashley gets invited because of Danny. Danny's just going to be enemy number one this week. Yeah, don't get used to it. Yes, Dee Dee, Ashley now being invited. Kaiwan, are you talking about Danny to cheat? Bobby says, are they going to tease an Ashley and Naomi relationship? That's the only way to salvage Ashley. Kathy says, yes, invite Ashley so the ceiling can fall on her. Best case scenario if it's not Trash or Tomas. Or even Jacob and Naomi at this point. Cassie E says, I've never really watched Young and the Restless. It was a lot better before the 2010s. But you can say that for most soap operas. Hello, Devin. Welcome. Devin rooting for the Knicks. Kathy says, I've heard none of the cast dies. Well, that's a little lame. Miss Blue says, I wonder if Joey will meet Victor. I hope Victor one-ups him. What if Jacob catches Heather? And that's the storyline. Just Heather's caught, and it was this big old build for nothing. Aaliyah says, why would Jacob tell Joey his impaler lead? Why would Jacob do anything that he does? Bobby asked the same thing. They write Jacob like the worst cop ever. Dee Dee says, so does Jacob know the Impaler is Joey's sister? If he does, then what a quick way to wrap up the storyline. As anticlimactic as possible. Devin says, because Jacob's a terrible policeman. Yep. Kaiwan says, Jacob got to save Kat and he falls in love with Kat. I feel like that's the juicy affair to have. There's some people in the comments that don't want that, though. Cassie E says, I wonder whatever happened to them surveilling Andre and what happened to all of that, because surveilling Andre, I don't remember that. Miss Blue says Jacob is the worst cop ever. Bobby says Joey not going to let them take Heather. No. I mean, what could Joey do other than send Jacob on another lead because Jacob just stupidly opened his mouth that he has a lead? Aaliyah says, I would rather Jacob and Kat have an affair than for Danny and Bill to get back together. I mean, I don't know if Danny and Bill are going to get back together, but they're going to do something else. Dee Dee's one of the people very much against the Kat and Jacob affair. I don't know. Sometimes the heart wants what it wants. Devin says, then Tomas can be all upset Kat's cheating on him, and she could be like, dude, I let you slide when you slept with my sister. Let this slide, and then he can slide on back to Puerto Rico. Great idea, Devin. Love it. Kathy says, I don't want Kat with Jacob. He has another Tomas. She doesn't need a whispering man. They do actually have some chemistry, though, which I think is the difference. Here go Vanessa running her mouth. Of course, Jacob has the wrong lead. Jocelyn says, I'm wondering why the wife doesn't see that her husband is just doing his police detective job. Talk about Naomi? Because she loves to be insufferable. Dee Dee says, so Jacob believed what he was told. Of course he did. Miss Blue says, I thought that Andre was supposed to have a secret past, which is why he did not want to take pictures when Danny kept trying to make him. They've been alluding to Andre's secret past for quite a while. I would like to think they're going to circle back to it at some point. Harsh words, Tyrell. It's like Victor meeting Jessica Griffin to me. Cassie E says, no one knows it's Joey's sister and he's going to make sure they don't know. I agree. Z Hicks says, Kat has the betrayer experience with Eva, so no Kat and Jacob for me. Boring. Dee Dee says, who's the person he listed? Some random name. Devin says, Andre's got a kid and an ex-wife back in NYC. That's my theory. It's possible. My commercial just started, Aaliyah. I bet that commercial was great. Hi, Aaliyah. Miss Blue also doesn't want Kat and Jacob. Just keep the show boring then, guys. Just keep the show boring. I bet it was Leah. Cassie, who do you think is not the type to have an affair? But you do want Jacob and Kat to hook up? Devin says, I'm only really for Jacob and Kat if Jacob stops angrily whispering, just talk normal like your brother does. Miss Blue says, the show is going to be boring if something happens to Tomas. That's a lie. That's a lie, Miss Blue. Kaiwan Tamara Tooney played Jessica on As the World Turns. Dee Dee says, June's supposed to know the Impaler. She told Martin and Smitty Impaler dangerous. Did they forget about that? I don't think June knew who the Impaler was, just knew of the Impaler. Aaliyah says, no one has seen even Tomas lately. And has he been missed to anyone other than Miss Blue? Cassie E says Tyrell is too damn clingy for a guy. Usually it's women that are that clingy and not a guy. I don't know. When I was young, I could be a little clingy, honestly. Tyrell's young. Aaliyah says he's not in the opening credits anymore. Yeah, he is recurring now, just like Derek went to be recurring. Then he got shot. Denise says we haven't seen Tomas in weeks, which is good. Devin says, yeah, I miss Tomas. He was the best. Devin. Z Hicks also misses Tomas. I can't. The simping is too much for Tomas. Here goes Leslie and her infinite money. Phoenix Rising said, I could see a cat and Jacob twist when she comforted him in Uptown. Exactly. Yep, Dee Dee, Leslie donating money again. She never runs out. Oh, yay, the house is being built again. Miss Blue says, I can't think about Tomas with Victor and Jack on the show. Be still my heart. I mean, both better than Tomas for sure. Devin's now looking up to Tomas for sleeping with sisters. Phoenix says that Purslane will suffer because Chelsea will be pissed. That's true. I guess that's a point. But that adds some drama, some real drama to Kat and Chelsea rather than their random arguments. Phoenix says Tomas is the impaler, just impaling sisters. James says Leslie is a mainstay on this show. She is indispensable friends, and she just looks so doggone delicious. I can't help it, y'all. I'm a rascal. I mean, that's how I used to feel when Lynette used to be on this show, but here we are. Well, at least Elon's upset with Jacob for this. They really keeping Martin's party a secret with the red and the blue in the background. Uh-oh. Might be a bad omen, Martin. Let's see what y'all were saying. Bobby says, I don't know why we're not going to see the inside after it's built. That's true. We probably won't see any part of the show. Dee Dee says, so does this ring mean Bill and Danny really writers? Kaiwan asking, will Danny cheat? Let's see, I lost my place. Thank you, Phoenix, for joining us. You have a good day too. Aaliyah says, did Victor have a stroke? I don't think so. Dee Dee says it's too earlier. Some people haven't arrived. I think most people will arrive tomorrow. James says Tomas is safe. He is Bill's right-hand man. I hope he's not safe. Miss Blue says, yes, Eric Braden had a stroke a year ago. I did not know that. Well, glad he's doing all right. To me, it's always been hard to understand Eric Braden ever since I was a wee little child. All right. Well, that was our Tuesday episode. I think we are at least building to something. Tomorrow should be a good episode when everyone else arrives. And I think we're going to have quite the cliffhanger tomorrow. And then Thursday and Friday should be madness. So I hope you all will join me again the rest of this week. Thank you all for joining me today. Yeah, Aaliyah, I think the action starts more so tomorrow. And yeah, here's hoping Tomas dies, right, Miss Blue? Yeah. All right. I'll see y'all later for the review.